This is what we called in history as a way for people to waste my time flipping through a 200-page manual just to answer a bloody quiz question. Or copy protection. Take your pick.
It's a great day for flying.
This is the DOS version of the game, so there are quite a few differences from my good old Macintosh version. For one, the campaign mode is just the historical missions with the next pages grayed out, so you can't select them until you complete a full page. In the Macintosh version, the campaign, you selected a nation to fly for, and it went through all these campaign missions in order for the nation that you picked. And also, if you died, that was it. One life, boom, gone. Real annoying when trying to guide an American pilot through all three wars, only to die at one of the last Vietnam missions. That actually happened. So, without further ado,
Good luck.
you're flying your P-51 against the yellow nodes ME-109s and FW-190s of Yeager 26, the Abbeville boys. Never let it be said I didn't do any research for you guys. These guys are the most feared unit in the Luftwaffe. You see a pair of Messerschmitts approaching you, followed by two Focke-Wulf 190s off in the distance. Other groups may be in the vicinity, so keep your eyes open. Your objective is to down at least 3 planes and bug out for home. We can pick our difficulty from too easy to way too hard. If you let it, this game will actually put up a pretty decent fight. Don't know if it's too much of a challenge one-on-one, but even slightly competent guys in large numbers are dangerous. And you also have this little thing. This is all the craft you can fly. And this is all the craft you can fly against. Since this game is spread out over 3 eras, your opponents for any given eras is rather limited. For now, we probably got the 190A8 and the ME-109 Emile. And it gives you a tip depending on which plane you have selected and which plane you're going up against, as well as its historically dubious aircraft stats. For here, the P-51 is better in most respects, but watch out for the 190's guns. They're big. To maximize your advantage, keep the flight at high altitude. And you see here, the game gives the advantage to the Focke-Wulf and guns, but gives me the advantage in airspeed, altitude, thrust rate ratio, which basically means I can accelerate faster, and wind loading, which means I can turn faster. And probably where I'm going to be facing the most, the Messerschmitt 109 Emiles. Gives firepower to my 650 caliber guns, although God forbid you actually see all 6 guns firing in this game. You'll see what I mean in a bit. Higher max speed, higher max altitude, but the 109 accelerates faster and turns faster. The 109 will beat you in a sharp turning and climbing battle, so use your speed to try to draw them up. Let's see if that advice is any good. Let's roll. So first off, this game does not give you a moment respite. down this guy. You have to do this. You have to do this mission in a pretty precise order, otherwise the game will just kick your ass. See why in a second. Oh, that worked pretty well. So what I'm going to be doing is going out to higher altitudes, where the 109 is weaker, but they also can't get their nose at me to get those massive guns. So keep climbing. It's going to suffer, but don't care. And here we go. This mission has 6 enemies, arriving in 3 groups of 2. You let more than 3 enemies on the playing field at any given time, and you're probably going to die. There, mission accomplished. But these guys will not let me leave here alive, because in campaign modes, in order for the win to count, you have to land at an airbase, at your home base, to be more precise. So those of you who's remotely familiar about the Mustang will notice that this cockpit looks nothing like a goddamn Mustang. In fact, they added a bunch of crap in this thing to give you information for this game. That is just crowding up this plastic cockpit. One more thing, that doesn't look like 6 50 caliber guns to me. In fact, each shot is worth 5 rounds of ammo. So, and you can increase your fire rate by just yamming on the fire button really fast. I can only do this so many times before the game just decides not to have any more bullets in the air. Wondering where the last 2 were. Just climbed above them. Yoink. So let's just keep swiping them where these poor loons can defend themselves. There is collision detection in this game, so you really have to be right on top of them for it to actually work. And usually it'll just straight up kill you. Pressing the D key will bring up your damage indicator. As that goes close to 100, you're more likely to suffer a hit that will probably spell certain doom from your aircraft. So it doesn't necessarily need to be 100% max damage for that to happen. And 100% max damage is an instant death. It's just more likely that a shot will cause some form of subsystem component damage. And that went pretty damn well, if I do say so myself. Now let's find our home base. Bring it up the map screen by pressing F9. And we see that our home base is nowhere on the frickin' map. That's not But all is not lost. By pressing W, we can select a nav point, and by looking at our compass, we can orientate our aircraft so that there are two lights. That means we're heading in the right direction. Does this sound like any form of navigational technology we had in World War II? Good, because it shouldn't. Press limit. If you're wondering what that means, here's a window that will help you. This is the envelope. The white dot is me in relation to airspeed and altitude. The faster I am, the farther to the right the dot is. The blue area is either stalling out due to angle of attack or ripping your wings due to excessive G-forces. The red area is stalling out due to low speed. And the dark blue area at the bottom, as you can see it, is an area I can go into, but I'll probably rip my wings off if I do. The game will simply not allow you to pull more G's than it takes to get that dot into the light blue area. So yeah, that's its notch to aircraft control stiffening. But then that's basically the entire flight model of the game in one window. Ah, there's the home base. But I just don't want to wait that long. Mega time compression. I can accelerate the game up to times for its normal speed. And still doesn't seem fast enough. Going across the map. What map is this, you might ask? Well, it could either be the skies above Europe, the skies above North Korea, or Vietnam. It really doesn't matter. It's all the same goddamn map. First, we need to slow down. You can do that by just dropping everything. The game doesn't care. Your gears won't break off. Your flaps won't mind. But in the air on a P-51 or Fokker-Wolf, your brakes don't work unless you're on the ground. They don't have air brakes. Silly. Landing this game is dead simple. It uses that little VSI indicator to determine if your angle is proper enough for a landing. So as long as it's above minus 0.5, everything will be hunky-dory. God forbid your nose is pointed down at the runway. Doesn't care.
You did a good job.
Nice work. It's sort of down one good pilot and 5 bad ones, and any member of the Abbeville boys definitely qualifies as good. Then we can bring our stats. 6 down. Number of bullets fired, number of hits I got, lapse time, and my plane condition, minor damage. Not a bad run. Now, if you don't abuse your high altitude advantage, chances are you're going to get your ass handed to you. The plane's about to explode. 5 seconds to get the hell out of Dodge. If you eject or do any fail state condition that doesn't involve you dying, you will get failure tips for the mission. Just end the mission.
Okay, get back up and try it again.
Here is the failure tips for this mission, should you ever see it. The Key to this mission is being able to take out the first 2 bandits before any more arrive. Once you got 3 or 4 ganging up on you, you're through. Make sure you get one of the first pair on their initial pass and snap around and finish off the second. Basically, kill them quick.